Good morning, another beautiful Monday morning, and welcome yet to another set of Monday Blitz, your number one sports talk show on TV 47. Now, it has been a very busy week. We've had the Chapa Dimba, we've had the rugby, we've had the EPL, we've had the marathon, we've had all kind of sports, but we're gonna catch the action of whatever happened right here on TV 47 Monday Blitz. I'm not alone. I am with I don't know how to call him, but he's called Baby Hippo, Twiga. I'll add another one, the energy god. Arocho, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Unatoa wapi energy, Arocho? You
know,
you look so...
No. I've always been up and down as a sportsman. Yes, I put on some weight, but I can still manage my weight, so why not?
I saw you dance. I heard you played, and now you're here.
Yes, we played in Kisumu, very lovely match. We danced in Kisumu. It was a very big moment, the 5th edition of Chapa Dimba. So for me, it's just within my trade.
And of course, I have Felix Junior. Karibu sana.
Nashukuru.
Uko mzima?
Nashukuru.
Wiki imekuwa poa?
Simba.
Asante sana. Now, before we start off with our show today, I want to remind you our question of the day, of which we can interact on our WhatsApp number 0793-267-279 and on our social media platforms at TV47 Kenya on Facebook, TV47 Kenya Digital on X. Now, the question of the day is, can Arsenal hold on and win the title? We also, what happened yesterday, they beat West Ham 1-0. Whereby it has brought in a lot of controversial. They say that goal that West Ham were denied was actually a goal. But anyway, let's talk. Let me hear your feedback on our WhatsApp, also on our social media platforms. Now, starting off the show, the 5th season of the Chapa Dimba was officially launched on May 9th in Kisumu, whereby a lot of stars were there. We saw what happened. And remember, the Chapa Dimba, they revised structure whereby the age was from 15 to 18, just to at least discover more and more talents. Now, some of the matches that were there, Nyakach Girls, they beat Butere 2-1, Kakamega Homeboys thrashed Kisumu Day 2-1. The defending champions, Obunga, they were thrashed by Manyata in post-match penalties after drawing 1-1. And then, just remember that the winners of Chapa Dimba will go to Sweden camp. Now, some of the structures, the tournament stages, the ward, county, inter-county, regional, and national finals. The prizes, the winner will receive 1 million along with the scholarships and educational opportunities. Now, I have Fred Arocho, who was at Chapa Dimba in Kisumu. How was it, Arocho?
Well, first and foremost, before we get into Chapa Dimba, I'd like to take this opportunity to convey my condolences to the family of the late Alan Thigo. Well, I never watched Alan Thigo because Alan played way early before I became a football guy. But the history has it that Alan was an instrumental player, both in his club, Gor Mahia, and of course the national team, Harambee Stars. So just yesterday night, I think in the course of the day, news came in that Kenya lost one of its very great heroes in soccer, Alan Thigo. I just interacted with Thigo towards his last times as far as a coach. I think he was a coach of one of the international colleges, if I'm not wrong. And our interaction came as a result of how he performed. These are the guys who flew our flag high in the early 80s, and he did so well with Gor Mahia. And for the guys who saw him, the kind of history that they remember him for is quite great. So, as a country, we've lost a soccer hero. We've lost someone who has done a lot in terms of the game. Now, coming back to Chapa Dimba, I was privileged to be one of the guys who attended the launch of the 5th edition of Chapa Dimba. Well, for me, Chapa Dimba is not just about kicking the ball. For me, Chapa Dimba is a 360 kind of an ecosystem where people benefit from the business that comes with Chapa Dimba. Kisumu over the weekend was booming in business. And then, of course, the benefits that come with the game. Several players have made it through Chapa Dimba. That is a platform that gives players an opportunity to express themselves on the pitch. I was quite impressed with Nyakach Girls. It's a school that is renowned of producing great stars. The Plateau Queens played so well, and you could just see the opportunity that they've been yearning for. One thing I also saw, I've also realized about Chapa Dimba, they give the locals that opportunity. The Nyakach Girls coach, who is relatively known within the football circles, had the opportunity to take the team to UK in the 4th edition. He is the head coach who commanded the All-Stars lady team that represented us. So basically, it's an opportunity to give the unknown chance to showcase their talent. And once again, good job, good organization. Safaricom is a company that does what they do it so well. The stadium was packed. I've never seen. I watch matches at Mamboleo, most of the Premier League matches. I've watched several matches there, but I've not seen a crowd that is self-driven than what I saw on Saturday. But all in all, the competition has now begun. The registrations are on. So it's whoever feels that he has a talent. This time round, they have something that is slightly different. Even players, individual players, can register to be enrolled in the tournament. So once again, good job. And I also had an opportunity to play as as a media person. So the media team, played against the All-Stars. So once again, good job, Safaricom, and cheza kama wewe.
Asante sana. Felix June, let's talk about this Chapa Dimba, you know. When you talk about Chapa Dimba, we have the likes of Marion Serenge, who started Chapa Dimba, the junior starlets. Now she's in the senior team. Let's talk about this generally, Chapa Dimba as a soccer tournament.
Okay, if you ask me about Chapa Dimba, I normally think like in Kenya, the problem we have is the development of youth football. So if Safaricom can come in and start such a stuff, like it's the 5th edition, so I think Federation should always chip in some other sectors so that we can have more talents, because there are so many talents down here, but their dreams normally get out when they play national team. Under 17s, under 15, they normally get out off from the picture. They get off. So if we keep on trying so much in this development of football and everything, I think we'll reach very far. And Kongole sana for Chapa Dimba. It was a privilege to watch those kids play. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even if you see the advertisement, that's why we packed the stadium. The advertisement is, and then it's more local. Yeah, it's more local. The advertisement was top.
It was very much,
yeah.
It was top. Ilikuwa juu.
Iliuza, yeah. Like venya Rocha amesema,
yeah.
The business wise pia ilisaidia. Yeah, it's not only about football. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Director, tuko na any about Chapa Dimba, or we move forward to them? So please, if we have our reporter Duncan Mutua was in Kisumu with Arocho and our reporters. Let's listen to what Danko made out of the Safaricom 5th edition of Chapa Dimba.
The 5th edition of Safaricom Chapa Dimba football tournament was officially launched at the Mamboleo Stadium in Kisumu County on Saturday.
Safaricom goes beyond commercial objectives. Safaricom has always been about transforming lives. So we do 3 things. One is we say we are the biggest supporter of passion points. Youth is a very big area. So whether that is sports, like we are doing with Chapa Dimba on football.
This season's competition will have new data gathering technology.
We are introducing a camera. It's called the video camera, so that the coaches will also be able to see how was this player responding to where the ball was. So besides the player statistics, they'll also have the camera.
Boys and girls under the age of 18 are eligible to participate in the championship,
Previously it was 16 to 20, now we are starting from 15 to 18 to give them an opportunity to be scouted and for the scouts to feel that they'll have a longer time with the young players.
Several exhibition matches were played.
We didn't expect that Sumude will be better this time round. We have played with them in Super 8 match. We crushed them 3-0. Now they have tried their best.
Nyakach Girls defeated Butere, while Green Commandos beat Kisumu Day.
At least the outcome is something that we expected, and we played according to our strategy.
Meanwhile, the national champions Obunga were beaten by Manyata through post-match penalties after a 1-1 draw in regular time.
Obunga up to the final end, at least wamekia sweat zetu sahi, tumeenda kama the Slam Derby and we are the Slam winners.
The climax of the tournament will witness the best players travel to Sweden for a training camp. Duncan Mutua, TV 47 Sports.
We've seen the multi-talented Papa Fred Arocho akipiga miondoko with the Duncan Mutua. Now let's move on to the Kenya Premier League right here, whereby on Saturday FC Leopards played Mara Sugar, whereby they won 2-1 against Mara Sugar. The first goal was scored by Hassan Benja, the 13th minute, and then Drona Openda of Mara Sugar equalized, and then slightly the 62-minute Victor Omune scored another goal. Fred Arocho, tuongele about this Ingwe. They did something good. Actually, the fans were calm this time round. People thought after their chairman aliongea vurugu itakuwa, but the match was very much okay. I'll start with you, Arocho.
Yes. Once again, I'll not respond to your question immediately. I'll go back. I think there's something that is happening that needs to be addressed. I think FC Leopards are getting out of order. Why am I saying they get? I think it's their Secretary General, Isaac Mulindi, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. He made a very outrageous statement before they played Mara, and he accused an entity of trying to aid one of the clubs to win the league. That is totally uncalled for. I think Isaac needs to get his soccer lessons, because he's somehow getting the game to a disrepute. And here is where I'd like to challenge the Federation. You cannot wake up one early morning and accuse an entity that is a partner within the football family that is aiding one of the teams to win the league. You need to have your proof. If in any case you have the proof, then of course you can present it to the relevant authorities. But once again, I think FC Leopards need to get the house in order. You cannot wake up and just starting accusing guys. Now, getting back to the Mara match, there were several people felt that goal was on an offside position. But normally, what I say about a soccer match is the referee has the ultimate decision. Me and you have the benefit of looking at the game through a second angle or even another kind. You have moments to think, but referees don't have moment to think. But on the flip side, people are also saying that they are professionals. It's true. They make their mistakes. And I wish we had that goal that, I think the second goal, yes, I think it's somehow there. Issues will always be there in terms of officiating. But guys, we cannot bring this team. We are creating anarchy, just lacking a better word. FC Leopards beat Mara, fair and square. And the moment we start making accusations and pointing fingers left, right, and center, that will bring problems into this game. So I'd like to plead with FC Leopards management to try and control the sentiments that they're giving out. And then also, they need to have one channel of communication. Yeah. Because one moment you see the chairman Boniface Ambani making a statement. The other time you see the Secretary General make a statement. You know, a club, like any other entity, needs command, needs order. I feel that in terms of making statements, FC Leopards have not put the house in order. We need to have order, and don't wanasema in Kiswahili, wewe just win your matches. If FC Leopards were winning their matches, we could have not been where we are. The other day we saw Gor Mahia complaining. On the flip side, Gor Mahia had an issue with Tusker, the match against Tusker, and we saw how diplomatic they placed their grievances and or their complaints. On the other side, I feel FC Leopards they have not put the house in order. They need to get their acts together, and if they are making a complaint, let them make a formal complaint. Football have channels of placing your grievances, not going to the press, not going to social media and start bringing the game to disrepute. I feel we are going to have anarchy, and that anarchy will hit back on these two big teams, because they are the teams that have big following. And when you have big following, you have big responsibility. If you cannot handle that responsibility, then you will feel it in the ultimate end.
Felix Jr., do you agree with Arocho? First off, let's talk about their win. FC Leopards, currently they are number 2, 7 points behind Gor Mahia.
Okay, what I'll say is that the consistency of the referee's decisions. If today this favors you, tomorrow it will not favor you. Like that goal or the second goal, if you look at the laws of the football, it was an offside position. But at the end of the day, the way Arocho said, referee don't have the second time to look. We don't have the VRs, so he doesn't have that second time to look the decision he made. At the end of the day, tomorrow we'll hear the same thing will happen to another team, the referee will call it off. If the law stands the way it should be like that. If it's an offside, let it stand an offside. Because the way that their secretary is talking on the media is not one thing. At the end of the day, I don't support that. If you ask me, I don't support that. Because you are saying it, you're provoking even the fans who doesn't have the knowledge about football. For them, they love the club because they found themselves supporting the club. But they don't have that knowledge. You have to have a football knowledge sometimes. You go there, you look like, am I controlling the crowd or am I provoking the crowd? Because if you look at that situation, the way he went to the media and started saying the team is being favored, he doesn't play good football. You are not a coach. First of all, you are not a coach. You are just someone in the office. Yeah? Previously, he said in Abu Dhabi that, previously he said in the derby that the gate will be closed. Gor Mahia fans will come early. You don't say that. How sure are you the FC Leopards will come early? There are some comments if you make as a leader, you have to look at them. They are very uncomfortable. Because at the end of the day, you are provoking, I've told you, you are bringing some even the fans who doesn't have knowledge. Because we go there, there are people supporting the team because it's a community club. Yeah, sure. They don't have even idea why they're supporting that club. He was found there, he was born there, supporting the club. So at the end of that match, I waited for his comment. He never made any comment. Yeah, it favored them. He never made any comment.
Unfortunately, we are breeding problems. And that's why, once again, I challenge the federation. Why am I challenging the federation? You remember a match, I think it was played just before Christmas, where Gor played against Nairobi, Nairobi United. The verdict of that match is still not out. Yeah. It went to the disciplinary board within the federation, and they gave a verdict, and then it was taken to the SDT. SDT referred it back to the legal bodies within the federation, that is the disciplinary and the committee that handles a dispute. But until today, we've not really gotten the true picture of what is happening. When FC Leopards Secretary General wakes up and make that reference, then he has a point. There I support him, because we cannot have a match of that magnitude, a match that might even decide the fate of the league, still in the, being on hold 3 months down the lane. That one is okay. You can present your case and say, guys, we as contenders, FC Leopards, we feel that this match should be the verdict should be out so that we know exactly where we stand. If in any case, towards the end of the league, I think 2 or 3 matches before the league ends, you give one team an advantage, then it will bring chaos once again. That one I'm with him. But in terms of starting to point fingers on entities who are partners of the federation, you're trying to incite fans. I'll not support him. I will never support such a guy. Make your sentiments, but have some decorum when you're making your statements. You need to know football has its laws. And once again, I'm challenging the federation. Anybody who makes utterances that might bring the game to disrepute should be punished. They have their own statutes that indicates how to address such issues. But the federation is taking forever to react. You understand? So I think that one also creates a room for guys to start speculating. Yeah. And that's what has brought us to where we are. So once again, the federation, do your part. Yeah. In any case, someone, for example, in the EPL, even a coach makes a comment about a referee that is somehow degrading that referee. They are normally sanctioned. But this is a country where I don't know what's happening with the current federation. You need to sanction anybody who is bringing the game to disrepute.
Well, thank you so much, Arucho. But let's listen to what coaches from the both teams had to say yesterday.
Timu poa sana, tulikuwa na upinzani upo na hata wewe mwenyewe ukiangalia game imekuwa ngumu, imekuwa rahisi vile. Vijana pia wamejituma licha na majira hapa na pale, lakini wamejituma kiasi na haja. Zile ball fupi ikakuwa saa zinakuwa zikichukuliwa, unapata tumejikusanya pale pamoja, alafu wanatua ina counter. Sasa kuwa tunabadilisha, na kwa sasa ni lazima tukue na wachezaji wanaweza break line. Sasa ikakuwa unaona Tyson kaambia saa hizi si mambo na kucheza touches, mambo na ku break line. Sasa inabidi unachukua ball, una engage, and that's unaona pia Kelly na Tyson wanakuja kwa change vile wanacheza. Ikakuwa sasa hizi si passing, sasa ni ku break line.
Tuna train kwamba ni vizuri tukue na hamu ya kutaka kushinda game, na kufanya hivyo lazima watu wajitolee, na ungeweza kuona timu ambayo inaweza jitolea ili tupate kwamba tunapate matokeo ambayo inatufaa. Hata hivyo leo haikuwezekana. Hongera kwa FC Leopards. Tutajipanga sisi next time.
And still on the Kenya Premier League right here, Gor Mahia also faced number 3 Kenya Police, whereby they equalized in the 86th minute goal by Ebenezer Asifua. People thought he game imeenda, but right now Gor Mahia are at number 1 with the 64 points. Arocho, imeenda ama bado iko? Because police played very well. No. Having the early goal by
No.
Brian Chonjo.
I don't know what you mean by they played well.
What is that poa?
I disagree. Kucheza poa is getting your 3 points. Period. Football is just about results. Like any other thing in life, it's about results. You might start so well, but how you end. Gor Mahia, I said it, I think about 3-4 weeks ago, that Gor Mahia is going to win the league. I had some reservations concerning their game against Kakamega Homeboys. They won against Homeboys. I also had some reservations against the match. I had reservations concerning this match against Police. They picked a draw. So who else will stop Gor Mahia? Though whenever I talk to Gor Mahia officials, I urge them not to look at the league. Gor Mahia should now start looking at the continental CAF assignments. What I mean by this is that they need to get more quality, better quality as they move into CAF assignments. I'm not saying that the players at Gor Mahia are not as good, but when you move from class 8, you don't transit to Form 1 with the same teacher you had. Yeah. You need to get something different. Gor Mahia has a set of very good players, but when they're moving to the champion, and if in any case they want to progress into the group stages, they need to invest in quality. I saw some clip last week where Yanga the president of Yanga was addressing the media. They're talking about having players who the least paid player at Yanga is paid about 5 million Kenya shillings. That nobody in this country is paying any player anything above 1 million. So the more you invest in the team, the more you get, and the serious you become in terms of the continental assignment. So Gor Mahia, as at now, if you tell me this is a wrap, they've won the league, they need to start concentrating on bringing in more better quality, so that when they move to the Champions League, they are not knocked out the way Police were knocked out in the first round, or the way Homeboys were knocked out in the first round. I liked what Nairobi United did in the Confederations Cup. I still believe that we can do better. Kenya is a country that is blessed in terms of the talent that we have. What we are not doing, we are not channeling the talent the way it should be. Football in this country is still by default. It should be by design. We should be designing players. We should be designing our win, in the sense that you invest, and the moment you invest, get good players, definitely you have designed a team for success. So that is what I'm saying, and I'm challenging Gor Mahia's management to look beyond the league.
Do you agree with Felix? Do you agree with Arocho?
I do agree.
First, let's talk about Gor versus Police, and then
Gor versus Police. It was a good match. I was there. Police scored the first goal around before 20th minute.
22nd minute.
22nd minute, yeah. And the game changed. Second half, when Gor Mahia came back, I saw something that I normally see in a team that want to win a trophy. Gor Mahia changed everything. Now Police started like now in a fan's view, they were looking, sorry, they were looking as if they were wasting time. You know the fans' view, like wanalala nini. But Gor Mahia found their way. That crucial point, that one point was enough. And maybe it may decide in the title race. Yeah, because FC have one game in hand. So if in case they win that game, because game in hand is not a win, in case they win that game, it turn to 4 points.
Yeah, 4 points.
Yeah, now 4 points. Now we are looking at that 1 point. Because if you win a game, it's 3 points.
Yeah.
Now if you go back to what Arocho is saying, the quality of Gor Mahia players currently, right now, if you ask me, they can't compete for Confederation, for CAF tournament. They can't.
Why are you saying that, Felix?
I'm saying that because there's a quality. You have to invest in quality when you're going to CAF. We saw that in Nairobi United. They played the preliminaries, they won the 2 legs, the 2 games they played. But they went to group stage. Now what the quality is needed. Quality is needed. I'm telling you, when it comes to CAF, it is quality. So Gor Mahia, if you ask me, they are winning the league. So for us fans who are there back at home, for them they'll think like, we have won the league. But there's something better than that league right now. You cannot be dominating just home. But when you leave the home, the other side, when the country now supports you, leave alone when you are at home, we have different teams, but not the country now is supporting you. You can't come back with the result. You have like the way you have said, younger now they're investing in players. The least player should be paid how much? 5 million. For us in Kenya, football is like hobby. We don't make it a job. That's what utasikia mchezaji analipwa 10,000 Kenya shillings in Premier League. Hatufai kuwa hapo. 10 years ago, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya was stepping stone. Right now, if you ask a Ghanaian player, do you want to come to Yanga or Gor Mahia? He'll tell you, I'm going to Yanga. Why? They have the quality of players. They are paying well. Invest in these players. Make your club, hata ukienda kubagain, una bargain when you have a quality. Menelewa. We should not be having players being paid 10,000, 15,000, and you're playing in Premier League. To be honest, it's not worth it. Ileti hata shangwe, ileti, and then you are saying there, you are landlord wako na kuna kwa gazeti kila siku umeka 6 months hujalipwa. It's not. Hatuko hapo, tunafaa kwa tunatoka. Cause nimekana watu kama Waganda sana. Walikuwa nakuja hapo na kuambia Kenya is a stepping stone. Sasa ukiuliza Mganda tule top player kuja Kenya na kuambia no. Ama Tanzania na kuambia no. Wacha nicheze kwetu. Tanzania, how many teams are paying well? They are very good teams, are paying well. 5 million, 3 million, 2 million is a problem kwao. But Kenya sasa hivi umesikia the highest paid data is kama ifikisha 1 million. And then we brag around, sisi no boss. Tunafaa kwa tumetoka hapo. Ligi yetu ukiangalia price win ya ligi ni very low. Quality, kwanza weka quality, weka demand kuwe high. If you pay player very well, competition itakuwa high. Hata kwa tuna Gor Mahia ndio na compete for league peke yake. Tutaona even hata Sofapaka imekuja imeanza compete because you are paying the player very well. But tukibado tukilipa wachezaji venye tunawalipa, Katela.
Before we listen to watch both coaches that is of Gor Mahia and Kenya Police, Arocho and Felix, what do you mean by quality? Unajua kuna mtu, when you say quality atakwambia na vile naonanga nani ni mdeadly, ako sawa. Is it quality based on kwa pitch? Is it this quality thing that you're talking about? Unajua, because when you ask somebody hapa mtaani nani ni mdeadly,
results.
Yeah, you see, for example,
results.
This player of Gor Mahia, they call ako Kenya kimakosa, Sylvester. Well, silly, they say Kenya kimakosa. You know, is it?
Well, me, the way I look at it, I'll take you back a bit. When Gor Mahia had like the likes of Dan Serunkumba, Khalid Aucho, we had Godfrey Walusimbi. You know, when you get the best of Uganda in your league or in your club, then of course you're upping your game. Then when you move to the continental assignments, then you'll see several other good players. If you can attract them in your league, then you're doing so well. A good example is Fiston Kalala Mayele. When he left, when he left Congo to come and play in Yanga. Now he's currently playing in Egypt. But look at the way he moved from Congo to Dar es Salaam to play for Yanga. The kind of signing that was made. He was the top scorer then in the Congolese league. Then when you bring the top cream into your league, and then he did so well within that league, and within 2-3 seasons, he had moved to Egypt. His transfer from Yanga to Egypt was outrageous. So that's what I mean. Quality will not stay for long in a small league. So this is what Gor Mahia should start looking at. The best of what is happening in Rwanda. Go to Rwanda, go to Rayon Sports, go to Atraco. You see, go to EPL. Get the best. Get the best. Then, of course, you have to attract them with some resources around so that you can entice them to come and play for you. So when you have a galaxy of stars, and that's what's happening at Simba. Simba has players from as far as Nigeria, and top quality, not just a Nigerian by name. No, you must look at the player and his output, his stats. He's played how many matches? How many assists has he given? How many, if he's a defender, how many blocks has he made? And you know, the current football ecosystem, stats are very, very important. Any good player must have his stats, so that when you're going for you're being presented to a new club, those are things that are produced. Gone are the days where people go for trials. No. You bring your stats, we've seen how many goals you've scored, then we sign you. And if you're a good player, within no time, you'll have picked, blended with the team, and you're producing. So that's what I mean when I say I need quality.
Let's listen to what both coaches of Gor Mahia and Kenya Police had to say after the draw on Saturday.
Tactically tulipata sawa kabisa, isipokuwa sasa hiyo, I think hiyo second half hatukuipata right, kwa sababu ile tulikuwa tunakubali kurudi nyuma zaidi na ku-invite Gor kwetu, na hiyo ndo makosa kubwa tulifanya, ndo wakaweza pata hiyo nafasi wakafunga. Ila I think nafurahi vile vijana wamecheza, wamedefend vizuri, lakini tu hiyo sehemu ndo inafaniwa kie. Kama ni defending tulikuwa tunarudi nyuma, hatupaswi kufanya hivyo, na hiyo ndo makosa tulifanya.
A lot of ideas in which we'll go in the second half, but I must say the opponent did very well. They were very deep in their box. They defended very well, and they didn't give us too much space in terms of how to operate, and it made it difficult for us. But in the second half, we were able to correct it, so we controlled the game in a very positive way. Again, the goals were not really coming, but we managed to get an equalizer, which was good for us.
And still we're still on the Kenya Premier League, whereby Tusker beat Bidco 2-0. But before we talk about that game, Arocho, what's your thought about vile makocha wamesema hapo?
Well, it's not an easy match. This is a defending champion. This is another team that is the most decorated team in the country, currently leading the league. So that match could have not been a small match in terms of the expectations, in terms of the game itself. So for Muyoti, I think this was giving in. He's let go the league. He's the defending champions. And of course, picking a draw at such a crucial moment. If in any case Police got a win, then perhaps that discussion could have still been live in the sense that Police is still trying to push a win for the league. But because of that result, I feel that they've already conceded defeat. The league is gone. For Gor Mahia, I think it was a good result, conceding early in the match and getting an equalizer way late into the match. For me, I think it should be something that should push them to the next level.
Felix, your take on all the coaches wamesema Muyoti and
Muyoti alikuwa ukimwangalia hata body language yake alikuonyesha yenyewe siwezi win ligi. Juu angewinio game at least kungekuwa na hiyo push bado. Kuna hiyo belief sababu games zimebaki 4. Kuliobakisha 3, Gor imebakisha 3, FC 4. So alikuwa na believe ukiangalia gap ya points are they 9, 10 points if I'm not so wrong. So alikuwa na chance ya fanya nini? But hiyo result ya 1-1 imemtoka sahi.
Tusker faced Bidco United and still the shock that was there, Kariobangi Sharks beating Nai Boys. Tuanze naye Felix about let's talk about Tusker and Bidco. Tusker have done well, wamekuja wamepanda sana.
Baada ni wachape.
Actually after Arocho talked aliongea sana wamepanda juu sana number 7. There was a time I remember you said that was not the Tusker.
Yes, I think Tusker picked a cue from my talk. I was quite hard on them. You cannot be a team that has that financial muscle,
they have everything,
and you are still lagging behind you. Wewe una compete with the likes of Sopapaka who don't have money. I like what they did, and at times when we are critical, whatever we say as the media is not necessarily personal. We are just trying to make things work. They brought in a coach who is serious. They even moved their training session from where they were having their sessions in a very unkept pitch, and you can see the results. Once again, Katela, you have to reinvest. Football is about investment. Football is not about picky ponky. And football is by design. You design success. Look at what they've done. They moved from where they were training initially. They're now training at KU. Far much better playing surface. They brought in a coach. Imagine the coach had never been in Kenya as a coach. And look at the results. They are coming. You invest in your players and you'll get results. So I believe that the coming season, Tusker will be a contender. Tusker cannot go 5 or 6 seasons without being anywhere close a win of a tournament, either the league or the FKF Cup. So it's working for Tusker.
Do you agree with Felix?
Yeah, I do agree, because ukiangalia hizi clubs zote in Kenya, Tusker wako in terms of even pesa. Wako na pesa, lakini ukiangalia kwa hiyo kiwanja yenye wanachezea, to be honest Katela, kuna vitu zingine ni jokes. Because I remember some years back kama kulikuwa na kiwanja ilikuwa na good surface, ilikuwa Ruaraka. Even foreign teams zilikuwa zinakuja kucheza against Kenya, zilikuwa zina train Ruaraka because ilikuwa maintained in a good way. But sasa ukienda Katela so ukirudi hapo kwa Tusker, they bounce back because they lost against Nairobi United during the weekday. So wali bounce back. Bidco sahi, anyone facing Bidco and Sofapaka, most of the teams they're going for result. Unless sasa tu wakatae, they're going for result. Yeah.
And still they played on Sunday, Kariobangi Sharks played Nai Boys. Watu waliongea sana by the way. Nairobi United are currently at number 4. Yeah, and Kariobangi Sharks at number 14, but walipigwa mabao mawili. Tuanze na hiyo Felix.
First of all, there's a boy there in that team.
Which team?
Unaona venye umesema kuna siliki makosa Kenya. If it's not a Roko, Humphrey Aroko kwa hiyo Sharks side, let's be honest. If it's not a Roko kwa hiyo team side, that team ingekuwa na struggle. Because Aroko amewachukua akawasongesha mali. Ni kama draft, amewasongesha mali. Kongole sana to that boy. In fact, atafai kuwa hapo. Mimi ukiniuliza, afai kuwa hapo. Hizo ndo sasa talent tunasema uko mahali but sasa ni wewe peke yako. Umenielewa? Sharks mukiniuliza Kenya kuna team moja ina develop sana young players and that's Kariobangi Sharks.
Yeah.
Young good players wanatoka pale So kupiga Nairobi United kwanza ilikuwa ni obvious. Ukiangalia games za Sharks zenye zimebaki, Nairobi United, Kenya Police na Kakamega Homeboyz. So many people are predicting hapa Sharks kujitoa ni ngumu. But jana walikuja
they pulled in a surprise.
Wakashinda 2-0. In fact Nairobi United. Umenielewa? So ukiangalia Sharks sasa wako number 14. But sasa kuna hizi team mbili ziko nyuma yao which is Posta and Ulinzi. They have played they have one game in hand. So unless sasa wapoteze point. But singependa sana Sharks irudi chini. Singependa.
Aracho to you.
Well, Nairobi United is self-inflicted disaster. I said it, and once again I'm telling the Nairobi United management, they messed themselves up. How do you sack a coach who is succeeding? With all that financial muscle that came their way after getting into the group stage, they got close to 60 million shillings. You know, I feel so bad. I was part of Nairobi United from the inception, when the team was in Division 1. I have been in that team all along. But there's certain decisions that they made the other day. And I think Sazigine, we just need to be professionals when we make our decisions. Tusilete ubeste, tusilete unyama. You get what I'm saying? Nairobi United were doing so well until they brought in a technical director who started meddling in the operations of the team. Nicholas Muyoti was doing perfectly well with that team. Yani at times you wonder why we even have certain decisions made in a team. You sack your coach mid through a very important assignment in the name of the Confederations Cup group stage. This is now the results. Nairobi United should not be where they are now. Nairobi United should have maintained or even done better than what they did last year. Yes, they didn't do well in the league, though that was their debut season. But once you had gotten the grip of the Confederation Cup by going into the group stages, surely now you are losing against a team that nobody was expecting Nairobi United to lose against. So once again, the management of Nairobi United, it's self-inflicted. Zingine hata usi blame anyone for the results that come your way. And if they continue the way they are going to be changing coaches week in, week out. Nicholas Muyoti was the guy for Nairobi United.
Before we move on, I'll just remind your viewers our question of the day. It's can Arsenal hold on and win the English Premier League title? Now moving on, let's move on to the National Super League, whereby after Mombasa United hosted Migori after the draw. Right now, Migori are currently at the lead. They climb to the top, whereby they won over Mofa, Arocho. And then Mombasa United wakapigwa.
Thrashed. Unajua mimi wani kama magician. I told you about Mombasa United.
Yes.
And I called, in fact, after this show, I intended to call the management of Mombasa United. I told you guys, Mombasa United have not lost 3-0 in the entire season.
And I remember you said they did so wrong sacking their coach.
Yes. Now, football is not an event. It's a process.
Yeah, sure.
Even when you are going down, you don't go down one match immediately. No.
Yeah, sure.
You see their first match after sacking their coach, they won. They went to Gucha and picked a win. They even picked a draw against Migori in Mombasa. Now, when they came to Nairobi yesterday, they lost 3-0. Now, it is now starting to manifest the blunders they made. And if they don't they are not careful, I'm seeing Equity.
Equity are coming in very well.
Yes, they've been winning their matches convincingly. They don't just win matches. They won 4-0 over the weekend.
Yes.
When they win their match, they win convincingly. Now, I'm saying this on this show. Mombasa United might not qualify for the Premier League. Equity and 3K plus Migori are the ones who are going to qualify. Because the moment Mombasa were on top of the league, Waka feel it's not the coach. No, it's not the coach. We can do without this coach. It doesn't happen that way in football. And even God is a just God. You cannot sack me, nishal let a team, imefika hapo, now you sack me. Even God will not take it right. you understand?
Yes.
So this mark my words once again, Mombasa United might not qualify for the Premier League because they brought in a coach. Yes, the current coach is a equally good coach. The former coach at Shabana. A good coach. But you cannot have a team, it's like moving into a frying pan. Even if you are a good controller of how to fry, it will take you time before you get your groove. And that's what might be happening with the coach currently at Mombasa United. I'm calling the management of Mombasa United after this show.
Felix Jr., let's talk about Migori's win over Mofa.
Versus Mofa. Sijui nini inaendelea na Mofa. Wameshindwa kusonga zaidi hapo. Hapo wako number 5. Position 5 Wameshindwa kusonga zaidi hapo. And I don't know what's really happening. Hii second leg imekuwa sijui nini na happen. There's a game I saw walikuwa walicheza sijui na team gani wakadraw 3-3. Kulikuwa na commotion between the official and yeah. So jana, was it jana? They lost against Migori, who is a title contender. Aya, sasa tukirudi kwa hiyo table, 3K is in second position. Second position.
Second, yes.
Second position.
With the game at hand.
With the game at hand. 3K imeruka Mombasa United. Kenye
Third, sorry.
Third.
So it's second.
Migori is 1. Mombasa is 2. Then we're having 3K on top of Equity. Being that they
actually,
actually
Migori is number 1, 3K is number 2.
3K is number 2.
Oh, number 2, they won yesterday.
3K is number 2.
Wako second position.
And then Mombasa United.
Mombasa United. Now venye tu wamesema, Equity is coming.
They are coming.
And
you know Equity has a game at hand. Look at the
actually, Equity, so far they've played 32 games. No, they're okay. Ziko sawa.
3K
from number 1 to number... They've played 32 games.
All of them?
All of them, yes.
Okay.
So Equity goal difference with Mombasa, it's only 2.
2 goals.
So if Equity wins and Mombasa loses, or even they draw, watakuwa wametie in points. You're saying tuendelee Felix.
So nikisema nasema venye tu Arocha amesema football ni process. Umeelewa? Ni kama unatoa mtoto mahali ukimsongesha. Unajua pia wachezaji kuna mwenye za tamani kusonga na team, but sasa kuna mtakiwa pale pia anafanya nini? Umeelewa? Management sometimes even they don't know the relationship between the coach and the players. Umeelewa? Hao wanaona coach amelose, ni coach anablanda. Anatolewa, unawaletea coach mwingine. Unapata the relationship between even the coach and the players, management does not know about that. Ukiangalia coach wa Mombasa United, ukiangalia first leg, so wamekuwa hapo number 1. Wamekuja tu kusumbuana na Migori sometimes hapa ikienda kuisha. Hiyo inamaanisha huu coach in other side pia ni mzuri tu in one way or another. But the moment unakuja unachuja coach in this crucial time ya league inaenda kuisha. Big blunder. Chuja u coach alikata kuqualify.
Yes. You drop me on merit.
Ulishindwa kuqualify na ulikuwa number 1. But sasa nimekuwa number 1 alafu unakuja unanichuja. Kukuja utengeneze hiyo team, coach mwingine akuja utengeneze hiyo team.
It will take time.
Unless it's Real Madrid.
Actually 3K and Mombasa are tying on points. Goal difference nimeweka 3K with 31 and Mombasa United with 17.
Yes.
Angalia goal difference.
There's one thing about Equity that I've really noticed. This is their debut season in the NSL. This is the first time they're playing the NSL. They merged with a team, I think it was called, there's a team they merged, and now they're doing so well. They brought in a coach who I think knew what he was doing, and they have been so consistent. And the bank is also putting some resources behind the team. You cannot just win without having resources around you. Because for all these things to happen, for you to have a very good playing unit, you must have resources. So basically, I'm saying it once again, Mombasa might not make it. Okidi is a good coach, yes. But before he gets his grip around that team, it will take time. And you know, there's no time. There's no time now. They've fumbled. I don't know who they're playing over the weekend. But once they've started fumbling, everybody else will say, oh, so Mombasa United is beatable. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is, it's slowly creeping into the team and it will affect them.
Let's talk about how Talanta beat Mombasa, still on the National Super League. I don't know if you've said it was a surprise. Mabao matatu.
Me, I was not surprised. You know why I'm not surprised?
Why,
and I even told the chairman, you might win your first match, your second match. But the moment you move into your third match and subsequent matches that come your way, it will not be easy.
Actually, they're going to drop in. They won, they drew, and then Sasa wame lose.
Yes, and no, for me, it's not Mombasa United losing. How they've lost. At times, it's not what you say, how you say it. It is not how Mombasa, it's not Mombasa losing. It's how they've lost. 3-0 at this crucial moment. And look at where City Stars is. I think they're a mid-table team.
Talanta,
yeah.
Talanta is a mid-table team. So now it confirms that Mombasa United is beatable.
Talanta is at number 9 with 45 points.
Mid-table team. By the way, I wish I could call him on air. It's just that I cannot. But I'll call him and tell him, I told you something.
Wali blunder.
It is a big blunder. Lakini because they promised Coach Bagari and they were seeing that the coach was going to win and they were not ready to kutoa hiyo gari.
Utafutia makosa.
Sasa ndio wanaluzaidi. Felix, hiyo kupigwa na number 9.
Ndio hizo ndio unasikianga results zinakama. When you are too much comfortable, wewe hakuna mtu anaweza kupiga. Mombasa ukiangalia hata kwa mtandao venye wanaongea. Next season lazima pia sisi tukue na derby huku sijui nini. Kwa mtandao wanaongea vitu mingi sana. It's not yet done. Na hizi timu unaona si hata Migori ama Equity na waribia program. Hizi timu ziko hapa chini hizi zenye zinajiwanga tunaweza pata point pale. Juu Talanta kupiga Mombasa 3-0. Venye tu amesema is not how you lose, is not here to lose, is how you lose it. Juu hizo 3-0 ni mingi. Ni mingi kwa title contender. Ni mingi sana. Juu Talanta have nothing to lose. Hao walipata chance wakatumia. Wewe sasa wewe jitoe kwa hiyo noma. Ndio unapata Equity, Migori 3K.
It's very surprising. Migori after Mombasa United walidraw na Migori wakiwa nyumbani. And then when you come to Nairobi unapigwa 3.
Hizo ni 5 points in a row umepata.
Now, before we proceed, I'll look at something. Their next fixtures. They played on the 10th, they played Talanta at Dandora, followed by a home game against Nairobi City Stars, who is also another hard nut to crack. That is the coming weekend. And 3K on the 27th. They are playing 3K at home.
That is a do or die.
No, it's not even a do or die. The way they are playing, they will lose against 3K at home. 3K is
3K at home,
they are playing in Mombasa. They are playing 2 matches, home matches at Mombasa Sports Club. So that is Nairobi City Stars. Then the next match they play against 3K. So what am I trying to say? If in any case they even pick a draw, for example against Talanta this coming weekend, psychologically they'll not be the Mombasa United that has been playing the league. So it's going to be hard for Mombasa United.
Let's listen to what the coach of Migori Youth had to say after the year win.
Game rahisi kwa sababu ukiona tactically the first half the boys hawakufanya vizuri mpaka nikapani kidogo kwa sababu wajaweza kufanya hivyo. Umejua as a coach from training lazima video zako ireflect to playing, ambapo kama 1 2 3 haijaenda poa inamaanisha kuna kitu haijafanyika poa. So I think kwanza nashukuru for the win. Second half I think tactically will change their mind na waka step up na kutamb authority on kushinda game ya leo.
Manage the game. Of course the goal they scored, the defender was going up and then of course it ended in our net. It happens in football, but now we just need to focus on the remaining games.
All eyes on Migori Youth, Mombasa United, and of course 3K FC. Now let's move on to the Women Premier League right here, whereby Police Bullets are really coming in hotter, whereby they won over Trinity Starlets. Aracho, hii ligi ya Madam Police Bullets, I think hao ndio wanaenda na kitu because actually they're doing so good. Having a team that beats an opponent 9-0 in the Ladies Premier League, the derby against Ulinzi, they beat them 3-0. Wanakuja vizuri sana. Now they won 1-0 over Trinity Starlets.
I don't think they're getting any resistance, the Bullets in the league. It just shows that if you have good resources, Police currently, they have most of the best players in this league. When the season was beginning, I think they got in players who they recruited and took to Kiganjo for training. So that one in itself entices players to play for the team. They also brought in a new coach, and I think things are working his way. Yesterday I watched a match, I think it was in Division 2 or 3. Kahawa were playing. Kahawa. There's a team from Kahawa Barracks, a ladies team. It's Kahawa Pride. They were playing a team at Ruaraka. I watched, and I was so impressed. I'm impressed because I think the women football is somehow, I don't know if it's by design or by default, it's somehow structured in a way that the young, very young players get their opportunity in the lower leagues. And that's something I've been saying about our league in the men's category, in that there's a certain age that should not play in the lower league. Anybody past 24 should not be playing in Division 1, in the county leagues, in the regional leagues. That should be left for the young, a certain age, perhaps from 18 or 17 to 23. Then in any case, you are past that age, then you ought to have gone up. So, but I'm seeing it in the ladies' game. I saw some very young ladies playing for Kahawa. And it's so encouraging because they are playing competitive football at that tender age. So this will give them a lot of confidence as they move up the ladder. So in reference to your question, I think Police are going to win. I hope that they are going to make a mark within the regional assignments, because last time I think we were knocked out. The tournament was playing in Nairobi, and yet we could not even make it into the finals. So it's a challenge to Police Bullets to make sure that not only winning the league, but they also need to progress the way we once saw Vihiga Queens doing so well in the continental assignments.
Well, Police FC are currently 8 points ahead of number 2, Ulinzi Starlets, with Ulinzi having 1 game at hand. Tuongelee your game, Felix Jr.
Yeah, what I'll say is that Police Bullets, what they did, Kenya kunasema tu hapa, get the qualities. Walienda Uganda wakapata good players. So unaona hata sasa hii ukikompete nao itakuwa ngumu sana. They have qualities and then resources. Ukiangalia venye team iko structured, they are very much structured. Wakupoa. I have friends there who is working there as a goalkeeper trainer. They are very, yani wako na gari, ukiangalia ni hata team venye ina approach game during zoezi. They have equipment, yani hata mchezaji mentally yako prepared. Umeelewa? Yeah, itakuwa ngumu sana compete na team kama hiyo. Our struggle ile in terms even of salary. Waliongezewa salary if I'm not so wrong. Yeah, waliongezwa. Inamaanisha hata ukiangalia mentality ya wachezaji, wako organized watacheza. Hawana kitu yote inawasumbua huko nyuma.
They'll give out the results.
And then another thing pia kongole to Mathare United women wali kuja kwa Premier League.
Actually Mathare United wamepanda. Congrats to them. When you talk about the female football, inakuwa very important sana to mention Mathare United. Wamekuwa there for long. They've won the league quite some time. Now, before we take a very short commercial break, I'll just remind you our question of the day, because we saw what happened yesterday. Does Arsenal, Arsenali, they have only 2 games. They only have 2 games at hand, where Man City have 3. Right now, wako juu ya Manchester City with the 5 points difference. Now, the question you can send in your comment on our WhatsApp 0793-267-279 and on our Facebook page at TV47 Kenya, and then talk about some feedback. Just an answer, yes or no, right? Nianza nayo Felix. Can they hold on to win the title?
They can.
Ama imeshaenda?
They can.
Arocho?
No, Arsenal has won the league. By winning the derby yesterday, Arsenal have won the league.
Well, all right, we'll be taking a very short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the Harambee Starlets, and of course, we'll dig in also to the English Premier League. Don't go nowhere. This is Monday Blitz.
8:30 p.m.
Good morning.
You have my rent?
Leo jioni kama tutakuwa tumelipa rent, nauza simu yako.
Hamna pesa. I need 3 G's to make my nails today.
Sasa hivi natuhusu aje?
Can I order now? Do you ship? Can I get blinking ones?
Mimi nilikuwa na trade. Nimeekelea kitele yangu. Kitele yangu na trade. Nikikunyuma.
Oh my God. He left me. Nitumie ni live.
Uko nje kuna wifi.
Why? Hi-Fi?
Wait, so what do we call this dish again?
I have no idea.
The cucumbers are there specifically for my beauty routine.
Tamulini kero make a good product.
Na ameenda.
Tunafaa tukuwe na logo yetu. Like, si ni brand already.
We won't entertain divas. No. I'm not dealing with a man child.
Amazing. Nishapenda hii energy.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on TV 47. Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. Ooh, yeah. We might fail. We will probably fail, but not for a lack of trying. So for the last time, and the first time, welcome to Connect In, the best experience in Eastern Central Africa and its environs.
Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on TV 47. Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m.
This is a very serious place.
I see that. Surely. Hey, Nyumba.
This is the place.
Just for a few days.
Rule number 2.
Kwani Google inajua maisha yangu wewe?
That's my seat.
It's a chair. It was hers.
You're new here?
Yes.
You learned the rhythm.
This place is run by structure. Structure.
It is a system. Ni venye tu ni system haisikizi.
And what happens if something you haven't chosen enters your day?
I remove it.
That's not always going to be possible here.
Then you are going to have a problem.
Noted.
What are you planning? To escape from a resort?
This is not a resort, my friend. This is a storage.
Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. on TV 47.
Nairobi, where the hustle never sleeps and neither do the scammers.
Link Up, we are talking about something that's affecting all of us. We are talking trust.
We're diving into the campus life.
Stay fresh, stay safe.
Stay linked up.
My father used to tell me that our hotel...
But you catch everything that has been happening in the sports world. I am Katela Macy, and with me is Felix Jr. And let's talk about the FIFA qualifiers, whereby the Junior Starlets are set to face Uganda on the 22nd of May in Kampala. And then the second leg, they'll be at home on the 30th of May. So far, when I saw that team play, I can say these girls, I have hopes in these girls, Felix. Coach Wildred Cheche is doing an amazing job, probably, because the last game they played against, where they beat their opponents 5. And they beat Namibia 5-0. I believe that these girls will surprise us, because if you look at them, ni watoto wadogo, lakini the kind of football that are playing, touches after touches after touches. Let's talk about these the FIFA qualifiers against Uganda.
From here, which team are they playing? How many games have they left with?
Their first leg Uganda, second leg.
So we have another 4 games
to
qualify. So let's first face Uganda, which is also a tough team. When they are playing.
Uko na doubt?
I know sina doubts. No, I'm a Kenyan. I have to have that first thing ya kunini. But the good thing is, even if our opponent is good, you have to say it. Yeah? But if they go to Uganda, Kampala and pick a point or even get a win, then it's a plus to us. Because the massive turnout of fans that day during the game against Namibia ilikuwa massive. We supported these young kids. Eh? Without us pia wana feel like mtoto mdogo unajua ukimpea support ana feeling like anaweza. Si kama mtu mzima ana feeling like I can do it without your support. And these kids, if you ask me, there's a player called Achieng. Shia Chieng, number 9, jersey number 9, the one who scored that trick, if I'm not so wrong. That girl is a gem. Ukinuliza is a top player. If we can keep such talent up to another level, to be honest, in future tutakuwa na good players. So isikuwe this under 17 ikiisha qualifiers, if we don't make it, God forbid, if we don't make it, then this team haitakuwa, then tungoja another qualifier tena ndo tutafuta another team. Hapo ndo tunawanga talent zetu in most time. If we can keep this team, even if we don't make it, we keep it. Unapata itakuwa rahisi sana even to feed at the national team. But the problem is, sometimes when we play these qualifiers, after the team have failed to qualify ama to win the tournament, inaisha. Shughuli yake inaisha. Like if you tell me now, can you assemble the team that played in Ethiopia, the under 20, was it under 17 national team in Sekafa? You cannot assemble that team because now even they don't know even each other mtu ako wapi. And hapo ndo unapata in most time talent zinapotea. So we can keep this team. Let's try and invest in these young kids. That's the only option we can make a good team. We invest in this team from under 13, under 15, under 17. Let's invest in these young kids. Because they are players, that's why we have so many aged players still playing football. Because we don't invest in these young kids. Yeah. Tuanzie hapa chini. And I'm telling you, if we go to Kampala and pick a point or even a draw, by the time we come back to Nairobi, the support will be massive.
Well, I would love to wish the junior starlets all the best in the upcoming game against Uganda on the 22nd of May. And I believe hapa nyumbani, we have all it takes, more fans, kila kitu. All the best to Coach Mildred, Cheche and the girls. Now, something has been happening. Ama tuko na bite ya coach? Okay. Something has been happening. Nyumba inabomoka in the FKF leadership, whereby even during the Chapa Dimba, they met. Hussein was there, Mariga was there, but they hata kusalimiana. You know, hata kusalimiana, it was not there. Now, the president of CAF, Motsepe, will be coming in to meet the FKF leadership amid the Wrangles. Now, tuanze kuongea historia leadership kwanza FKF. It's very disappointing to see the president CAF anakuja hapa kusolve shida zetu zenyewe zenye tumejiwekea. Felix.
Okay.
You know, and then having these leaders, the president and the vice president, even shaking hands in a normal, because fans are watching. Chapa Dimba ilikuwa imeshona, but you know, kitu wanatuonyesha it's not right.
Katela, let me ask you a question. Is it about personal issues, is it about office, is it nini? Sababu, if it is a public event, mali na wahitaji nyinyi wote, I don't have, you have to show the other people. Salamu,
you don't have to watch
salamu if I, yes, na understand, maybe tuilete huku nyuma, mimi nawe, lakini kwa public, nyinyi wote tunawahitaji. Umenielewa? First of all, these are both our president. One is vice, another one is the head. Whatever is happening between two of them, whatever is happening in federation, first of all, I remember I told you, Katel, all we need is to play football. Football yetu itaendelea if we have such strong issues. Hii ilikuwa ni issue ya Chapa Dimba, which is even a young kids. It's not about even mature people, utasema ni watu wazima. It's young kids. So whatever is happening right now, let's be honest. Those people should sit down, discuss their issue. If it's about the scandal, wacha EACC ifanye mambo yake, wacha other investigation ifanyike, mpaka tupate nini na happen. But as per now, if it's a public event and involve football, you people should not show us what is going on. Inaleta ish mingi hapo kwa federation. But at the end of the day, mimi, first of all, mimi aliniko sahi, all I just want ni kuona football yetu inafanya nini. We are going to host AFCON hapa mbele. Yeah? We are going to host AFCON hapa mbele. So if we have such issues zinazidi tu kuongezeka, then huku nje kuna vitu mingi zinasema, speculation ni mingi, accusation ni mingi, sijui nini, mara huyu alifanya hivi, mara huyu alifanya hivi. Let's just pray hizi vitu zitafanya nini? Sababu zitatu affect. Unajua watu wanaona ni kama ita affect Hussein na Mariga. No. It is about president. But hapa chini ita affect vitu mingi. Vitu mingi zita affect hapa down. Like say Div 1, Div 2 kuna issues, sijui nani anafaa kurun, sijui nationals, sijui vitu ni mingi kate. Hatujui nini na happen. So tunaomba tu God, hao watu wanaweza kaa chini, kama kutakuwa na investigation ifanyike patikane kulikuwa na blunder, well and good, but kama vitu zinaweza fanywa kivyao na ball iendelee, wacha iendelee.
And after the reasons hizo nini zote, do you think that leadership itabaki intact? Because honestly mambo zimekuwa ni mingi sana kwenye mitandao, and Hussein said if at all the accusation that are made against him are true, yata follow sheria. But again, on the other hand, the vice ameshaweka like hii relationship yao wawili haiwezi work.
So ukiuliza between the two people, nani akona issue? Because huyu akisema
kitu ambacho kwa ground anasema ni president ali.
Sawa, ndo nasema kama huyu anasema mimi kukiwa na issue, kukiwa na if this allegation kama ni true, mimi ndafuata nini? Inamaanisha nini? Ako willing to step out kama itakuwa true. But ule mwingine anasemaje?
Yatoke kwa ofisi.
Yeye afanye nini? Atolewe. Unaona sasa is like wako sure na what. Yeye anasema kama sheria itakuwa. Is like wewe unatumia thorax. Like atolewe, but the other person is saying kama kutakuwa na makosa, then I'm willing to do what? To step down, which is okay. Mimi ukiniuliza that's the right thing to do. Kukiwa na shida, sometimes hii nyumba ni kubwa than individual.
Yeah, sure.
Si ndio? Ni kubwa, the football is bigger than individual. Mimi nikitoka football itarani. Sawa? But without football mimi siko. But without me football can. So if kama ukweli itapatikana, then wacha tu nifanye shughuli yake. Sasa mambo ni mingi. Anything inaandikwa kwa mtandao. Kila mtu anakuja na version yake. Na sasa ukisoma utasikia huyu anasema hivi, huyu anasema hivi. At the end of the day, Katela nimesema kitu moja. All we need is football grow Kenya. Hizo vitu zote zinapend kandanda house. Mimi hata sometimes nakanga chini na shinwa. I don't know what's really happening. Sijui kila mtu sijui anavuta pande yake ama nini. Inakasiju kama umesema Chapa Dimba ilifika mali people are not even greeting each other. 1 year in office. Na tunapiga hesabu ya nyinyi, maybe mtapiga 8 years pamoja. 1 year in office kushakuwa na scandal. Tuombe Mungu tu hizi vitu ziishe. Mimi naangalia bigger picture which is AFCON. And umesema president wa CAF anakuja. He should not be coming to solve such issues. Inakuwa ni kama same president wa CAF akikuja nafaa kuja kuangalia Talanta Hele imeisha. Talanta Stadium imeisha. Unanielewa? Such things ndo ziangaliwe. But sasa tukikuja tunakuja kudiscuss between the president. No, it's not even about football. Tuna discuss issues zenyu wawili.
It's shameful.
If it is kama itakuwa ngumu, then mimi ningesema if the issue is about personal ama nini, then ningependa sana basi wakae wote kando kwanza. If it's possible. Kama ni personal issues. But kama ni allegations za pesa na nini, wacha investigation ifanywe. Ikifanywa tu ipatikane, let's follow the process, the legal process. Hiyo tu tunaweza sema.
Now still here at home, where we move on from football, the Kenya Premier League, and then we move on to the rugby, whereby actually Kabras won their 5th consecutive Kenya Cup, whereby they beat KCB 14-8 in the final match. That was delayed sometime over 30 minutes. It was delayed over 30 minutes. Story rugby, and I saw my very good friend Namiso Nafuna jana amenijazia status about Kabras wakishinda. Tuongelee about Kabras and KCB, because kitambo when you talked about rugby, KCB wamekuwa hapo sana ma heavyweight sana, but now this is the 5th consecutive win for Kabras. As the champion for the Kenya Cup.
Yeah, let me say, kuna jamaa niliona aliandika kwa mtandao akasema skari ni tamu. Skari ni tamu sana. Yeah, unaweza kuona dola lakini unaweza kuwa na skari, unaweza omba jirani. So it's about bank and so rugby ukiniuliza Tela, tumekuwa so many events za rugby. Rugby is one of the sports in Kenya yenye people, if you don't know about fun, you don't know about enjoyment, then you should attend rugby. Like the recent rugby we had HSP in Nyayo. It was, umenielewa. Rugby, there's something about rugby that most of people in football they don't know. Kwa rugby ndo mali utakosa hooliganism, itakuwa ngumu sana, iko limited. Kwa rugby ndo utapata fans, they're even allowed to enter na pombe and everything. So me niliwatch your video, I didn't attend. I have a friend mwenye ako huko. aliniambia mzee yanaenda rugby, so I had to follow something. Cabras has a good team. Na ukiangalia kwa mtandao, this the team niliona na brag kwa mtandao, and they really had the result. Walikuwa na brag kwa mtandao mbaya sana. Huku mtu atoa sijui nini, they really had that result. Na walipata. It's a good team. It's a good team, yeah.
And beating
KCB, yeah.
14-8.
Hiyo sasa ndio sasa unasikia sasa mali nilikuwa nakwambia quality comes in. Tukiongea before quality comes in. Cabras has a good team.
KCB have everything bado.
Yeah, unaweza kuwa na everything but you don't have quality.
Quality.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't mean if you have everything unaweza kuwa na quality. Yeah, kuna zile kuna wala tu venye tu kunasema hapa previously is a process. Unaweza kuwa kuna do lakini maybe 1 2 things are not going on well. So KCB wako na kila kitu. Wako na asset, wako na everything. Wako hadi ukienda ground yao ya training kuna basi ya ya football, kuna basi ya rugby. I think even they have event for volleyball. Wako na kila kitu. Umeelewa? But sasa when it comes to quality, compare the two teams, I think Cabras is over.
Congratulations to Cabras. Now, let's move on to where watu wanaongea sana. But my director is telling me kuna apps za Cabras. Kuna game ilifanyika jana. Let's listen kwanza Cabras before we move on to the English Premier League.
Wamecheza mpaka dakika ya mwisho. Na nafikiri kwa uzoefu tu wa Cabras wameweza kuwashinda juu ya experience. So nafikiri ni hiyo ndio kitu wamefika ya kwanza, watajibuild. Ni first time yao kufika final, so hata watajua lessons za kupick from finals na wakibuild for the next one watajua watafika wapi.
Our guys have been working really hard. I don't know how many times we've been doing this, coming back, but we can't continue in this fashion. But it's a good character, good character to always come back. That's a good sign of a good team. So I'm proud of the team, and it was a hard game.
Congratulations to Cabras. Now let's move on to the English Premier League. And once more, I'll remind you our question of the day. Can Arsenal hold on and win the title? I even posted yesterday that he imeenda, guys. He imeenda, by the way. Because even if they win their 2 games, if Manchester City wins their remaining 3 games, kutakuwa na 1 point difference. Not unless Arsenal will lose. And it's very difficult for Arsenal to lose against Burnley. Unajua wanacheza na Burnley. Yani, the remaining games, Burnley and Crystal Palace, the remaining games ni mteremko sana for Arsenal. Now, yesterday, Trossard, West Ham walikuwa hold Arsenal very well. The first few minutes were, and then Leandro Trossard came in, akafunga, and West Ham scored, but ikakuwa no. They offended the goalkeeper. But again, hii kitu imeleta talk sana because there's a time Chelsea, there was a time Man City walifanywa the same Manchester United, but again people are questioning why only Arsenal jana ndio the goalkeeper alikuwa fouled. Let's talk about Arsenal over West Ham jana.
Okay.
Kwanza bao ilitolewa ilikuwa kutolewa.
Let's be realistic when sometimes tuna discuss is incident.
Kwanza tulize.
It was a foul.
It was a foul.
Yeah, let's first start from there. It was a foul. But now the problem is the consistency of these fouls. If today is a foul, let it remain even tomorrow is a foul. Si leo unaangalia incident unaona is not worth it to be a foul. The other time unakuja unasema, like if you ask me, the first match of the season between United and Arsenal.
Yes.
There's a way Onana na Arsenal defender walikuwa na hiyo commotion. But iliangaliwa ikaonekana is not enough foul to do what? Yes, it's not enough foul, so you give the goal.
There was also Arsenal and Aston Villa.
Arsenal and Man City and Chelsea.
Yes.
Raya against a defender of attack of Chelsea. Kuna jingumi kuangaliwa na VR. So what I'm trying to say is, yesterday it was a foul. There was a pull. Kulikuwa na mvutano. Nani alimwekea mkono? First of all, unaona kuweka mkono it wasn't a foul. But the moment tu Jamal kwenda chini alifanya nini?
Akamvuta.
Na any time unajua keeper akiweka mkono juu, it's advantage for him. Because yeye peke yake ndiye anaweza peleka mkono juu. So anything utafanya na mkono yake apoteze balance, it's a foul.
Yeah.
But now the question is, the time the goal was scored. Italeta issue. If that goal was scored around the 70th minute, ingeleta issue. Ingekuwa ni normal. But unaona dakika bao ilifungwa, inaleta issue. But it's a foul. If you go to the laws of the Sharia za ball na nini, it's a foul. But now the consistency of this decision that referees wa England wanna make. Today this is a penalty, tomorrow that is the same incident is not a penalty. Leo this is a foul, tomorrow this is not a foul. This is a ball to hand, tomorrow this is not ball to hand. The same scenarios ina happen. So mimi naweza sema kitu moja. Most of referees were England, the consistency of decision is the problem. And that's one unapata even in this Champions League, World Cup. Marefari wa England ni ngumu sana waone. It's the best league ukiniuliza in the world. But the decision they make during these matches, unanielewa, against this team, yani they lack that consistency. They lack it completely. It was a foul. Katela, it was a foul. Kongole to Arsenal, it was a tough match for them. Because kwa mtu alikuwa kwa dilemma kwa game is one person. Declan Rice. Alikuwa kwa issue ya niteremshe timu ilinilea. Alikuwa kwa dilemma. Hii team naiteremsha na hii team ndio my mother. Alafu side nyingine, but at the end of the day, thank you ulinilea. Lakini sasa mimi niko hapa.
Lazima tuendelee.
Lazima maisha iendelee. Without me club inaweza run.
Now, still on the English Premier League, Manchester City, they beat Brentford, walipiga Brentford mabao 3, of which, for me, I expected it to happen after walidraw na Everton. It was, I was expecting it. I knew Pep Guardiola, the next victim that Manchester City ilikuwa ina face, au ilikuwa wapigwe vibaya sana, and they beat them 3-0. So let's talk about hiyo Manchester City. Bado kuna hopes because right now they are 5 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal having 2 games at hand, Manchester City having 3 at hand.
Unaona, Katela, the moment those games went to 2 games in hand, it was pressure to Man City more than Arsenal. 1 game in hand is better. 2 games in hand, and the opponent have won 2 games. Those 2 games ameshinda. So you have 2 games in hand. Pressure iko kwako. Because now that's a must win. It's a must win na unacheza 2 games. Afadhali moja kuna kuangana ile bado hii moja. But the moment una play 2 games at hand, and you saw what happened against Everton. Man City walicheza hiyo game ndo siku yangu ya kwanza kuona Man City wanacheza football yenye si yao. There's a way they conceded those 2 goals. Yenye si Man City nafaa kuena concede hivyo. Like we saw what Guye did. Unapiga short back pass inachukuliwa inafungwa, but the way they responded immediately, it was top. Then baadaye tukakuja tukapata Doku akafanya nini? So that one crucial point purely fail, it's okay with us. So now comes tomorrow, jana sasa. Man City first, was it jana? Juzi. First half ilisha 0-0.
0-0, yes.
Yeah, second half, you know what Man City did. Guardiola will step in sasa kwa nini anaweza stamp authority in some areas. Kuja second half, that's what he did against Chelsea. Yalimaliza 0-0 first half, second half ikisha 3-0. So that's when they step in. So for me ukiniuliza, Arsenal have won the league.
Because remember, Man City they're playing the finals, the FA finals on the 16th, and still on Wednesday they are playing Crystal Palace.
Aston Villa or Crystal Palace?
Crystal Palace. Aston Villa ndio game ya mwisho for Manchester City. So Man City are facing Crystal Palace. They're facing Bournemouth. They'll be at home. On Wednesday they'll be at Etihad. On Tuesday 19th they'll be at Bournemouth, watakuwa away, and then they're facing in a period from
of 6 days.
Yes, actually on Wednesday 13th they are facing Crystal Palace. After 3 days they are playing the FA finals.
After 2 days.
After 3 days they are playing Bournemouth, and then after 5 days they are playing Aston.
The league is going to end
on the 24th.
On the 24th, with the second weekend from now.
Fatigue itawapiga mbaya sana.
So the point is they're playing 3 games in 7 days.
Yes. That is Manchester.
And they are a title contender. Ni noma.
So it's easier kusema hii imeenda, sio?
Yeah, because Arsenal unajua, let me tell you why Arsenal sahi wako comfortable. When the Arsenal are still playing Champions League, walikuwa kwa pressure. Umeelewa?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to balance Champions League game, you have to balance Premier League. So for now, they don't have any game hapa, wako tu na Premier League. Man City wako na Premier League na wako na final ya nini? Ya FA. Because Arsenal to play Champions League is at the end of the season. Kama ligi imeisha.
Yeah.
But Man City sasa wako na final ya Champions ya FA na bado wako na Premier League. So ni pressure kwa.
Ni pressure kwa.
Pressure.
Now, here are some of the comments on our Facebook page. Remember it's TV47 on Facebook, and I can see Okoko Whiteman anasema yes, of course, after winning against Burnley. And then we have Martin Ameyo anasema we have had this question and Arsenal is winning the league. And Ridon Ojkot anasema by VAR Arsenal will win. I told you that yesterday's goal brought in a lot of controversial debate. Gerald Trax Isuzu anasema no doubt they will be crowned the 2025-2026 champions. And I can see Livingstone Bosco amesema hiyo ni Frederick Kambona Ukeyo and say yes they can hold on against Palace and score 4 goals against Burnley. And then Bernard Ruto anasema yes of course the title has already gone to Arsenal. I can see Jemo Karaoke, the league this season is theirs. I don't see that being overturned. And then I can see Hudson Maragia anasema yes they can and they will. Yesterday's game was the real test. Arsenal is winning this. Master Eric Kiprono anasema we just want to win our remaining 2 games. We don't bother about Man City game in hand. Which I like that mentality. Hao washinde 2 games zao. Marshall Mokoma, football have a lot of surprises. That is Marshall Mokoma. And then David Mpekethu says, I don't think so. That is David Mpekethu. Arsenal only have 2 games at hand. Man City has 3. And if you look at the fixture, kazi iko pale kwenye Manchester United. Paul Ombut says yes, yes, yes. Walcott Alfred says done and dusted, Arsenal forever. Ken Abamba Nyamweno says kitu imetenganisha na hiki kikombe ni masaa tu. Like it has gone. Imeenda kabisa. Boni has doubts, anasema mimi sitaamini mpaka game ya mwisho. Same Arsenal yenye imekuwa ikiachia kila season. And then MC Elvis wakiwa na Mandunye, hapana hiyo haitaweza. And I can see another one, Hassan anasema maybe washinde poa. That is Arthur Vincent Tobiko anasema Arsenali maybe washinde poa. Wow. Keep on sending your comments on Facebook, T47 Kenya, and on WhatsApp 0793267279. Arocha nimemcheki Ukondakas, amerudi. I want him to talk about their win over West Ham jana. Papa Freddy.
Yeah.
Karibu tena mara nyingine.
Thank you. You know, Radio 47, guys wanted to hear what I'm saying as the chief twigger. So I had to go and do duty.
Aracho, yesterday Arsenal win over West Ham. Iyo bao. A lot of people said there was a time Arsenal were playing against Aston Villa whereby keeper pia aliguswa. Emiliano Martinez aliekewa hiyo mkono. There was a game Manchester were playing Arsenal. There was a game Arsenal against Chelsea. But sasa imekuwa yesterday ndio ikakuwa the goalkeeper was fouled.
Well, I normally don't like dwelling on such controversies because you cannot change.
Hakuna vile itarudishwa ati
anything
bao ni bao
out of that match. Though when you just want to have a point of discussion, then is only when I normally make a reference to such. Referee might have made a mistake, but that one is gone. It's now under the bridge. And I think I said it on my Facebook yesterday when I was referring to FC Leopards' goal against is it? Mara. I said that referees do make mistakes. And though you have to live by those mistakes. So anybody who is still dwelling on what happened yesterday is just living in his or her own world. It happens all over the world. Even with the VAR, they will still be having issues. And that's why I have a problem with VAR, because we are discussing this because of VAR. The referee went to the VAR, perhaps he could not pick what ought to have been picked. But if in any case there was no VAR, this thing could have been long forgotten. So let Arsenal win the league in peace. I've now come to terms that Arsenal is going to win the league. It's not going to be easy to get the league off Arsenal's hands. The only thing that I still feel that there is still a lot to be done is in the Champions League. I saw the way PSG played in their semi-finals against Bayern Munich. That PSG side is totally unpredictable. And that unpredictability, I'm not seeing Arsenal equaling that gauge, that kind of speed, that kind of tempo in a match. But the league is done. Arsenal will win the next 2 matches and they will be crowned after 20 or so years.
Arsenal, oh yeah. Now still on the English Premier League, Manchester City played Brentford where they won 3-0. Arocho tuanzie na hiyo, but I can see Man City have a game in hand, but sidhani.
City lost their match, not against Everton. There was another match they drew.
Everton.
No. Watch it on Everton. For me, Everton, it was already done. For me, when they were playing Everton, it was there are two matches they drew.
Bournemouth,
which for me
West Ham
is where, and Bournemouth.
West Ham, yeah,
that's where they lost the league. By the time they were playing Everton, they were so tensed, and that tension, because
it was West Ham and Nottingham Forest.
Yes, Nottingham 2-2.
Yeah.
When City walked into that pitch against Everton, they had already lost. For me, they were so tensed, and that tension, they had the possession. They had a lot of possession in that match, but they could not translate that into a goal. So City needs just to look back and see where they lost the ball, where they dropped the ball. Arsenal, yes, they've been having their issues here and there, but ultimately they must be a winner. For me, I think we're having one of the weakest winners of the English Premier League. Why? Look at the number of points they have accumulated. I don't think in the near future we've seen teams accumulating fewer points than what we are going to see this year. There's a year that we almost hit the 100 mark in terms of points that were accumulated by the team that came on top. So those are the things that you can look at. And I feel that if in any case Arsenal wins the league, they need to start looking at that. To better their position next season is not only to win the league, but to get even more points out of the 38 matches that they are going to play in the subsequent matches next season. So basically, those are the pointers. Those are the things that a team needs to look at. Yes, we won the league. How many points did we accumulate? How did we perform in the Champions League? So that will help you prepare for next season.
If Arsenal win both of their games, they'll be having 85 points. To you, Felix, you're going to tell you, Felix, you're winning Manchester City.
Against Brentford?
Yes.
Man City lost the league against Everton. Bado mimi nabaki tu hapo.
Uko tu hapo, like ilipotelea hapo.
Yeah, ndo nimesema when you have 2 games in hand, ni pressure kwako. Afadhali 1 game in hand. 2 games in hand na mwenzako amewin zote. Ni pressure kwako. It's
a lot of pressure.
Pressure. Juu sasa angalia, like right now, Arsenal, they were playing Champions League and they were playing league. Sai Champions League is done and dusted. Na wanangoja mpaka league ishe. So they're only playing what? Man City in a period of 7 days wanacheza 3 games. 2 league games na 1 FA final, which is on Saturday. On Wednesday they are playing Crystal Palace. Weekend they are playing final against Chelsea. Then after that they are playing Bournemouth on Tuesday. Angalia your period.
It's
pressure.
Tough.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Pressure.
Now still on the English Premier League, I was so surprised. Let's talk about Manchester United, whereby they drew with Sunderland, of which a lot of people said that was the time they didn't understand what Michael Carrick did, because ungeangalia kikosi 0 shots on target. Yani they were playing just for the sake of playing. And people were questioning as to why Zagzi alianza, Mbomo yuko kwenye kiti. You know, there was a lot of pressure. Even Pande ya Mazraoui alikimbizwa sana juzi with this guy is Talby something. Arocho, give me a Sunderland na Manchester City. Manchester United.
I think the coach is just shuffling his team. He's rotating his team. The season for me is over for United. It's over because now they're sure they're playing in the Champions League. And I feel that the coach is also wanting to see other players who is not really featured much in the season. So you need to know who I'm going to drop as the season ends, who I'm going to loan out, who I'm not going to need. So that's why I think he's trying to bring in the Zagzis of this world, the Mazrui of this world, because they have not been playing. So before I make a decision, if I'm going to retain you, if I'm going to let you go on loan, then I need to know your strength. He came in when United were in shambles, and he had just to come up with a quick fix. The quick fix has worked. So now I think he's shuffling. For Carrick, I don't think winning against Sunderland was his priority. Because even if United won against Sunderland, they could have not bettered their position. So now I think the coach is just looking at individual players, their strengths, their weaknesses, and who I'll need in the coming season. And if in any case I'm letting someone go, I need to give you an opportunity so that when I sit with you to discuss your exit, you'll understand why I'm saying so. Because normally players are dropped or even taken on loan going by their stats. And how are you going to give me my stats and I'm not playing? So Zagzi has to play so that when the coach sits down with him and tell him, okay, Zagzi, we still need you, but we have to let you go on loan. Then you bring forth some stats that can justify that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the coach somehow tilted his team so that he can see, with lack of a better word, the fringe players that have not been playing all along at United. But United is a team that is focused. I believe that at the end of the season or even in the beginning of the season, they will give Carrick a longer contract so that he can be comfortable or he can start settling in. And that also will give him an opportunity to start looking for players who will be joining the team to beef up the team, because they've not played the Champions League for some time now, and they need quality, once again, quality players who are going to help them perform that.
Do you agree with Arocho?
Yeah, I do agree with Arocho, because at the end of the day, what was Carrick's task when he came to Manchester? Try and make team qualify Champions League. And he has done that. So the players of Zagzi to play, winning against Sunderland is not a big deal. If we lose or win, let me test these players. The way Arocho said, let me test these players to Joe. Who do we need next season? Because there are so many players in that team who should not be in that team next season. If we are going for Champions League, now that's where the quality comes in. Yeah, we want to win Champions League with Zagzi. You won't. No, okay, now Nani is injured. Mbeumo is injured. Sesko is injured. Now you need Zagzi to win your game. And then there's a problem somewhere. I don't know what's really happening with the Diallo. Since the guy came from AFCON. Ninimba, I don't know if Amorim was his... Because even after Amorim left, Diallo has never come back to the way he used to play. Amepotea kabisa. So people are asking, why did Mbeumo start? I don't know. No. The way Arocha said, let me test these players. Because Carrick has already qualified for Champions League. He's not playing for any another trophy right now. He confirmed it after Liverpool drew with Chelsea. He confirmed it that, and Aston Villa drew. So he confirmed it that he's going to play in Champions League next season. So for him, he has no pressure that ataanza kuulizwa, why did Nani play? No. For us, injured utauliza hivyo. But someone who understands football will understand what Carrick did. Yeah. And again, another thing, playing in that stadium of light. Ask those teams which have gone there. You don't win there easily. Yeah. So many teams have looked for draw. Yeah.
Still on the English Premier League, Papa Fred Arocho, Liverpool played with Chelsea, whereby wali draw 1-1. Chelsea sijui shida iko wapi, and also Liverpool. Yani, Kakazia was with Kakazema and said these are like two teams fighting for an ex who has already moved on, because wako tu, Liverpool and Chelsea.
Well, I think Liverpool is the team that has suffered most in terms of quality players who left, and then the kind of players they brought in. I think they did not match up to what left. When in reference to Chelsea, I think Chelsea are suffering from initially when the season was beginning, they had a bloated team, and I think they're suffering from decisions that they made way in the season. They've brought in a lot of coaches. It's one of the teams that has a turnover of coaches that is way wanting. So instability in a team results with the chaos, and that's what's happening at Chelsea. I'm not seeing Chelsea playing in the Champions League next season. They need also to take a rest, try and look at benchmark what United did, so that when you come back in a stronger way. For me, the 1-1 draw, that result was fair. I don't think there's any team that deserved more than a point from that match. But it also gives other teams to showcase their prowess. A season or two, Chelsea and Liverpool will be back, and I'm sure we'll not have top five. We'll not be having top big 5 teams in the English Premier League. We should start seeing 6 or 7 top teams in the league.
Liverpool and Chelsea.
Venye tu imesemekana. They have nothing to fight for. Like, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How comes teams like Chelsea in 7 consecutive games wamefunga bao 2? Chelsea, we are talking about Chelsea not Crystal Palace or Burnley. 7 consecutive games. In those 7 consecutive, there's no even a win. Now Chelsea are celebrating goal more than even point. Because that's what they have wamekawia kupata. So hiyo game ya Liverpool na Chelsea, even Chelsea were better team than Liverpool. It was in Anfield, Chelsea were better team than Liverpool. But at the end of the day, Chelsea may not play even in any competition in Europe next season. If they're not, they're in position 9, if I'm not sorry. They may not even play in any competition in Europe. Unaona venye umesema wana change na Manchester. Huyu alisonga hii season.
Huyu akashuka.
Akashuka, so wanabishania kila mtu, wewe rudi hapo mimi nijitengeneze hii side. Ukitoka pia mimi ndafanya nini?
Ndugu watoka ni. Anyway, tonight Tottenham Hotspur are facing Leeds United. And before you forget, by the way, congratulations to Barcelona. They've been crowned the La Liga champions. Remember, each and every single Monday we are here. Thank you so much to all everybody who sent in their comments, everybody who sent in their predictions, everybody who sent in their sentiments about Arsenal winning the league. Thank you so much, Papa Fred Arocho. Thank you so much, Felix Jr. And Minta Malza nikisema Arsenal, hoye. See you next Monday. It has been Monday Blitz. I am Katelemisi.